I do know I'm live. Look. Thank you for tuning in, whoever is. Now then, I don't know if you are curious as to why I didn't go live earlier, but look, I know two people at the very minimum were waiting eagerly for me to go live. MCFR was giving me the big up, complimenting the thumbnail and everything. He was, so fair play to him. But there is a reason I didn't go live. Now then, I'm sure you may have seen the YouTube community post. It was only put like half an hour ago though, so there is a chance that you didn't. I'm going to click on it now, and I'll quickly just run through that. Won't like read it all. But I just want to say, this is the community post. I just want to say that I'm sorry that this stream didn't happen, which is the stream that's happening now. The sad thing is that I knew that this was likely to happen. I thought I created a community post, which I did write one up on YouTube. That it's not like I writ it on notes and thought I uploaded it or anything like that. I writ it down on YouTube, okay, and I thought I published it. I was convinced I'd published it. So sure. But look, it's not the point. One way or another, it didn't upload, which is the main thing. Now, in that community post, I promised I'd go live to give some sort of reaction to this, because this is big news. This is the Champions League draw, the league phase. And once again, Blues, I'm sorry that this happened, and I strive for it to not happen again. Thank you for understanding, is the bottom line of the matter. That was the situation. But now you're probably wondering, okay, then where were you? Why would you schedule live and not even go live for it? Now, for those of you that don't know or do know, the live was scheduled for 4:50. 4:50 with the actual live taking place at with the actual draw, which would happen via TNT Sports YouTube channel or basically anywhere. That would happen at 5. So going live 10 minutes before it starts, because I know that they like to talk a lot on those draws. Okay. And that was the situation. Now then, today, spoiler alert, blip into my life, is my brother's birthday. My older brother's birthday. Now then, that isn't me trying to divert that it's my birthday. I can assure you, from me, everything I'm saying is the 100% truth. It's my brother's birthday today. I'm not going to say his age, but it is my brother's birthday. And usually he doesn't do anything for it, okay? Because he's not bothered or whatever. Okay, it's not really my business. It's not my birthday. Okay, I'm not going to dictate what he does. But today he did do something for it. And so I was essentially obligated to go to what it was. Now then, I was meant to be there for about half two. And I thought, okay, don't know how long this is going to be. 2 hours maybe. I'll be back for 4:30, and I'll be back in that, and I'll be back in time for the stream. That was what was going through my head. That's what I thought was going to be the case. Now then, I had work today, and I have on the road work, and then I have in the office work. On the road work was pretty easy, and we got through it relatively well. But the in office work, which I had to do afterwards, was a lot more. There was a lot more to do. And so ended up finishing there about 2:30. Now then, at 2:30, I basically had to wait until someone else that was also going to this thing came back. They came back at about 10-4. I couldn't do anything about the live. There was no signal. Now then, I knew that this could happen, and so that's why the community post was there. In my head, it was there. I thought it was there, so I wasn't that bothered. Get home, and I go to check on the community post, see what the backlash was, if there was any, see what the response was. It's not there. And so I go on there, and there's been comments and everything, and it's just such a shame. And I appreciate the compliments on the thumbnail, but look, that's enough yapping from me. Bottom line is, I'm really sorry about this, and look, it's probably not going to happen again for a while. And if it does happen, I'm going to try to be a lot more organised, ready, whatever I need to be for it. But let's have a look at this. Now, and it's not my most beautiful graphic, I won't lie. When I got home, and I saw that the graphic, I saw what was what. I got home and I was like, okay, I just need to make something. I need to make something, and this is what I came up with. It's not much. It gets the message across. Left to right, by the way, in terms of when the games are played, who we play first and who we play last. But let's get straight into this. Now then, if you want the truth, I fancy us to win these and win at least 5 minimum of these games. If City do not get 15 points from at least 5 of these matches, I will be having question marks on my head. Now then, the games that, not that I don't fancy us in, but I do know will cause us a bit more trouble. Juventus away from home, PSG away from home, and Inter Milan at the Etihad, which is a obvious plus. I am confident that I think we should win all of our Etihad games. Those are my honest thoughts. We should have a guaranteed 12 points. Okay, not because of the opposition, but because it's at the Etihad. We've got to back ourselves at the Etihad. I think we should be beating, I'm not gonna lie, Slovan Bratislava. I'm not gonna lie, my first time ever seeing that crest, and it's not often that I say that. I have seen a lot of football crests. Now then, just because I've seen a lot of football crests doesn't mean I know a lot about the club, but genuinely, first time I've ever seen this crest. And so, yeah, that's what I thought on it. I have seen the crests to the right. I forgot their names though. But look, PSG, I think this is a good draw, by the way. It's definitely, the left side is the most difficult side. The right side, we should be winning maximum points. And obviously, we should be beating Club Brugge. Hello, MCFR. Thank you, by the way. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you for tuning in earlier and leaving all those nice comments. And I'm really sorry for leaving you hanging. I did apologise to you via Instagram DM. I don't know if you've seen it or not. And I can assure you I've also apologised to Frost Fury because I know he was here. Or at least that he came on a bit later. Yeah. I'm really sorry about that. Have a look at the community post. And also watch this live back if you want a full explanation. But enjoy your silent disco, MCFR. Have a good one. PSG, look, I don't really know how good they are. You know, I don't know how good Enrique's been with them since last season. You know, it could be awful. But it's just winning the league because it's PSG. Or he could actually be working on something here, working on something special, maybe. Who knows? But look, PSG is going to always be at least a bit of a challenge. Look, they are a team with decent players. Now then, last time we played them, they had Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi as their front three. They don't have any of them anymore. They have the likes of Ousmane Dembele, Kolo Muani, Can't remember the other one. But they still have a decent front three, but it's not as stacked as that sounds. As that previous one sounds. Now then, Inter Milan. I know I did go to PSG first, but Inter Milan. Look, we learned at the Champions League final last season that they are a good team that can cause you issues. And look, Inter Milan in that Champions League final played well. They played really, really well. There was no doubt about that, and they were easily difficult opponents. You know, no City fan left that game, and it was like walk in the park final, because it wasn't, and they came very close to scoring at times, ridiculously close. You know, Lukaku, the header in the 6-yard box, Lautaro Martinez pouncing on the mistake from the defenders, everything. It came really close, but we won. That's the bottom line. We had the slight edge, and that's all that you need sometimes. And Juventus, look, again, I don't really know how good these are. They've just sold. Oh man, was Ronaldo doing the draw? How interesting. Either way. Wait there. Oh man, my computer's been really laggy. Did take a while to load up. Juventus, I don't really know how good they are, but I mean, they're one of the good teams in Serie A. They've got to be at least top 4 or 5, I would have thought. You know, they've got to be up there for one of the better teams. Now then, they didn't win the Serie A last season. I do think that was Inter Milan, to be honest. But look, this one is away from home. Can't remember their ground name. It's not a San Siro. I almost said that, but I'm pretty sure that's Inter Milan and AC Milan. But Juventus is still a good team, and they've got good players. Douglas Luiz is not long gone there, and then they've got Vlahovic up top. Don't really know how well he's been since he's moved there. I know he's not been awful at the very minimum. We just lost Szczesny and Chiesa, so I don't really know how good they are, to be honest, Juventus, but they're going to prove a challenge away from home, I would think. Now then, if you want the truth, I back us to win all these games, even PSG, even Juventus, even Inter Milan. I back us to win all of them. With challenge, obviously. Now then, an interesting one that MCFR put here. Not going to lie, I actually prefer this new format. Do you agree? Now then, an interesting one. I've kind of officially decided my stance on this. If you asked me a year ago, because a year ago, like, we knew all this was still happening and all that, this new format. If you asked me a year ago, I'd say no. I didn't like it, and it wasn't for me. And I disagreed with it. Now then, do I agree with it now? Not really. But what I will say is that this new format isn't bad. There are two negatives to it. Negative number one is giving the players even more football to play. Footballers already have to play ridiculous amounts of football with the silly Club World Cup thing going on in the summer 2025, which I'm adamantly against. And now they have to play extra 2 UCL games. Now you're probably thinking, oh, it's 2 UCL games, but it's that's 180 more minutes of football minimum. Probably more like 190 minutes of football. Okay? That's 190 minutes of football that you could easily pick up a squad injury. Big injuries can happen in the space of 2 matches. And with more football being played, more injuries are likely to happen. That's why I think FA Cup replay should be scrapped. I think they're a silly system, to be honest. Just settle it there and then. Don't see with the Carabao Cup. I don't see why you should with the FA Cup. Maybe it's because I'm younger and I don't know the special feeling of it, I guess, But I really don't agree with that either. But back to the Champions League. My biggest problem with this isn't that it is a bad change. I think it's an unnecessary one. I personally think the group stage was a perfect format. Because a big problem I have with this as well is that you can finish 24th in this league and you can win the Champions League. You can finish 24th. That is ridiculously low down in the table. That is over halfway. The table is a team of 36 teams. This brings that down to half of that is 18 teams. Personally, you're asking me, round of 16, why don't you just make it the top 16 teams? I feel like that makes sense. As opposed to giving teams even more game time, even more play time even. Because the top 8 guaranteed go through. They go straight through to the round of 16. But then the 16 teams between that, so 9th to 24th, they clash it out. They fight for it. Playoffs, a bit like Europa League. They play off and then they make it to the final, the round of 16. And that's how it's done. I personally think it's an unnecessary change. I think the group stage was a perfect system that just made sense, and I just feel like it worked. It worked fine. It worked like a charm. 6 games and it felt full. It felt nice and refreshing. It was nice playing 2 teams at a time. We were playing 3 different teams, but playing them twice. I liked that. But I know I'm going to sound like that guy, okay, but is it just me that feels like this brings Super League-ish vibes? Now then, of course, it's not quite like the Super League. The Super League was a very different concept, which I'll speak about another day, because it'll probably come back one day, and fans will probably have to fight to remove that on a whole again. And if that does happen, we have to unite again. Absolutely. But one big league table was what the Super League was, and it was a weird system. I know they changed it now, but back then I think it had a similar qualification system in terms of how you got through. And the Super League's whole thing was biggest teams playing each other as much as they can. This is, you play 8 different teams in this group stage. You don't even play 4 teams, but you play them twice. You play 8 different matches. It just screams. Obviously, the Super League is worse, but it just gives me Super League vibes. I don't like it. Now then, I'm not going to kick my feet about it. Do I dislike this? Absolutely not. I think it is fine. But again, I just felt it was unnecessary. But everyone's entitled to their own opinion. MCFR prefers it, as he's put here. Nick Fadley, he prefers it as well. And you're entitled to that. I'm simply giving my thoughts on it. And, well, this is you giving your thoughts on it. Oh, why have I almost removed myself there? But guys, look, I'm going to remove myself now. Oh, I'm not meaning to do that. It's my computer. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm so sorry about today. This is hopefully going to be a 1 in a million thing. I can assure you we've got no birthdays for a while. Or at least none that will need me going out like this again. Thank you all for tuning in. Your support is great as usual. Look, guys, I know I've been saying let's get 600 for the end of the month. Bottom line is now that's probably not going to happen. And don't feel bad about it. If you do, okay, I'm sure you don't. But look, we'll hit it next month, hopefully. And that's all I want. Even if I get tiny bits of progress every month, as long as I'm making progress, I'm going the right way. I'm moving forward and I'm not stagnating. That's all I can ask of you guys. The tiniest steps are the right ones, as long as they're going in the right direction. Thank you all for tuning in. Feel free to like and subscribe. We are on the push for 600, whether I said what I said or not. Big ups to you all. Your support is great, as per usual. Yusuf lad, I'm so sorry. I'm about to end the stream. Feel free to watch it back, but thank you for tuning in nonetheless. Feel free to like, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you all. Oh god, this is going to take a minute. In the next one. See ya.